What's up, people? This is one of my most unusual videos because I don't normally talk about this kind of stuff. But it actually kind of brought some attention to me because of a recent experience that I went through. If you've ever felt confused, heartbroken, or emotionally wrung out by a man who claimed to care, but left you like just kind of wondering, this is for you. Today, I'm going to briefly break down how emotionally unavailable men operate, from just being in a bizarre situationship of the month. So I'm going to talk about right now how they operate, what their words really mean, and why it's so easy to stay attached to someone who isn't really showing up. And this isn't like a theory, this is real. I'm also not a professional therapist or anything of that sort. Just hear me out. You be the judge. If you've ever gotten close to somebody chaotic and lost yourself trying to really like them or win them over, keep watching. Exhibit A. You meet somebody that's emotionally intense, maybe freshly out of a relationship or still tangled in it. He opens up quickly, says he's broken, something along those lines, but you feel different. He texts and calls constantly, and you talk for hours. He says you calm his mind. He says he's not ready for a relationship, but also doesn't want to lose you. And then you start to feel chosen, and then confused. And then you agree, because connection, which is a real thing, but some people aren't real. And then your heart starts to invest in something that isn't defined. So let's decode some of these red flags, okay? Some of the common phrases that these emotionally unavailable men say are, I don't want to hurt you. What that really means is, I know I will. I want to keep you close, but I'm not ready to give you what you need. Let's go with the flow, which means I want the benefits of closeness without the accountability of commitment. I care about you deeply, which means I want your energy, but I can't offer you consistency. I'm emotionally disconnected, which means I'm unwilling to show up for you emotionally, and I want you to understand that without leaving. And then the last one I can think of is, you're special to me. I care about you. You're special to me. Which in other words means you matter, but I don't plan on treating you in a way that matches your worth. They like to say little things that just keeps you attached, which is kind of like, you're my piece. You're not like the others. I don't deserve someone like you. And these words feel so romantic, but when they're not followed by actions, they're a distraction from the pain they're causing. And what sucks is that you think you're building something, but then they start pulling away. You ask if he's okay, if he's tired, burnt out, or going through something. And so you give him space, and then he disappears for hours, sometimes days. And not in my situation, but maybe for some of you, weeks. And then he pops up with a song, a memory, a late night text. And then you start to cry. And then when they start to hear you cry, they hear your tears, and then they tell you that they're broken, that you're special, that they're sorry. But nothing changes. Nothing changes. And then he keeps you close enough to feel seen, but far enough to never feel like safe. And the scary part is that sometimes they may be with other women or men, if they swing that way. And then you stay because you remember the good version of them. But remember this, that version only shows up whenever they feel like it. And now it's time to protect your peace. Watch his consistency, not his intensity. Look at whether you're constantly soothing him while your needs go unmet. Ask, is this calm love or emotional labor? Just because you like this person, it doesn't mean that they're your person. And just because he says nice things doesn't mean he's showing up in a healthy way. He or she, whatever. You're allowed to walk away even if it hurts. You're allowed to stop explaining your worth. You deserve emotional availability, not occasional affection that's wrapped in chaos. And just a little reminder to my people going through it. This happened for me in the month of May, and we are pretty much almost to July, so I've already had time to process. Here's what I have to say. Your softness was never the problem. It's where you placed it that made the difference. Some men don't want love. They want an emotional home that they can visit whenever they're lonely. And don't let anyone turn your heart into a crash pad for their own destruction and confusion. If this resonated with you, please share it. Comment your story below. And I have a few more parting words for you. Remember this. Healing isn't about who hurt you. It's about who you choose to become next. You're not alone. You're definitely not crazy. You're just waking up to your own worth. And that's all I have to say about that. I just felt like I needed to say this because it's been pissing me off lately how a bunch of beautiful people are getting hurt every day by people who are chaotic, by people who don't know what they want, people who don't know what's going on in their lives. Give yourself a little bit of grace. Understand all that because there's a lot of crazy people out there. Good night.